So we are live.
Hey.
I'm here today with Jonathan Martin, which is a director that participated on the first film festival that we did in 2018 with Creatures of Whitechapel. And then he got some nice mentions, special effects and it all. And then the second one, the second year on 2019, he participated with Kiss the Devil in the Dark. And now 2020, he's also at the festival participating, doing 3 webinars, one fast prep, another one is networking, and the last one, which I love, and this is something I really wanted to do for a long time, which is the special effects, the VFX, directing VFX. That is a workshop that you did at the festival. That's really cool. And so, Jonathan, please.
Hi. Hey. Well, hello. Thank you for having me back. And I think is this our final one to do now? Is this the all stuff we've done? Is this the final one as far as we got going? But I'm glad to do it, and thank you for honoring me with having me here. And so glad that I could help. So be a part of the festival once again. This time as a filmmaker and professional and all that. So yeah. So take it away.
So tell us a little bit about, for example, let's start with Your Comatose Mother. Is that the first short film that you did?
The first short I did was it was called An Evening with My Comatose Mother. It's got a lot of visual spectacle. It's not the most heavy on story, but that was never its purpose or intention. It's just kind of a fun horror film romp as far as that goes, and it's just classic horror. There's monsters. It's a big house. Crazy things happen, and I made the film actually 10 years ago, like this month. Like I made it in September of 2010, and then we released it. We had our premiere in April of 2011. And the film went on to play over 100 festivals, and it won 76 awards, which at the time was the most ever for a horror short film, at least verified, most ever for a horror short film. So nobody else really had that at the time. And so, I think the best way to show it is if I showed the trailer for it.
Let's go for it.
We showed the trailer, we can get an idea for it, and then we can talk a little bit more about it as you need. So we'll go ahead and we'll just start that up.
Did you share the sound?
How about we show Dorothy how to take care of you?
After the kids moved out of the house, we decided to take my mother in. She's comatose in bed. She's upstairs. Follow me. Isn't that right, Mother? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Awesome.
So there it was. And as you can see, there it is. We'll take that off there. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is your first film. I mean, this is amazing.
Well, thank you. It did pretty well, and as you can see there, you can now see it on the Screenfest channel on YouTube if you want to watch. And thank you. No, it's been the film itself, when it came out, there was really nothing quite like it for short films on the circuit, and there was I think there was a different appreciation for the film when it was actually on the festival circuit. But now that it's been released several years later, because it was with the Shorts International channel, so that was the only way you could get it, was on Amazon Prime or iTunes. So it was never online. It was never online. You had to watch it through either the Shorts HD channel. So they kind of had the rights to it. And at the time, they would sign you to a 7-year deal. So nobody could see it. So so earlier this year, it got released on the Screenfest channel, and it's it's only like 500 views from 100,000 views. Obviously, some films get like 1 million views now and stuff like that, depending on the channel they got. But Screenfest was always a festival that was very good to us, and they have a popular channel, and so it's been there. But what I was going to say is, now people kind of see it like the younger generation. They don't quite get some of the humor that's in it, and they don't kind of appreciate it the same way that maybe an older audience would get it, our generation. But that's okay. I didn't make it. Yeah, well, I just made something fun for whatever. So.
But it's incredible. The actress, she's really good. I mean, on all of your films, you do. I was telling that on the table that we are doing right now. We are doing like a makeup and characterization table, and I used as example because I was coming here to interview you, and so I was telling them, I said, you guys should look at the work of Jonathan, because not only you have visual effects, special effects, monster building, the characters that you create and all that, but the work that you do with the actors, it's really strong. It's a strong work that you do with the actors.
Thank you.
I mean, you can see already in your first film, because you have a style. What I like in your films that you have a style. You created your own style, the way you do your films.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And, and the first time, that was really my first time really working with actors. So, it could be a little tongue-in-cheek. It could be a little over the top with that one. But, they won some awards. They did okay as far as that goes. And so thank you. You're too kind.
Well, but we are too critical with ourselves. But when you see it printed on the screen, I mean, it looks great. And so let's talk about the one that was in the festival, the first festival.
So,
was Creatures.
So we can, give me a moment to get that going here, because now I'm thinking, maybe we can show a little something for Kiss the Devil in the Dark as well. I'm just bringing that up just so that it's kind of ready to go as far as we go there. But yeah, let's go ahead and give me a moment to let that in. Okay, that's ready to go too, and we can show Creatures.
So which one is that? The Kiss the Devil or Whitechapel?
We'll do Creatures of Whitechapel here.
Yeah, Creatures, okay.
Okay, so Creatures of Whitechapel. So this is the trailer for that.
Did you enable the sound when you opened the?
There should be sound. Yeah. So,
okay. Cool.
Yeah. So we'll see this, and if there's an issue, I know. So wait, wrong one, wrong button.
Okay, no problem.
Hold on. There we go. Okay.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Dr. Frankenstein.
I've been around
This Captain Ripley has a taste for the unsavory type.
Pleased to meet you. Hope you get
We are gods now.
There are no gods here, only monsters. I've seen what you did.
See what?
stuck around St. Petersburg.
And what is possible, Victor? Not by God. I mean, this is just the beginning.
was rain when the bliss may rain and the bodies stay. Pleased to meet you. All of you get my name. Oh yeah.
See, that was it then. So yeah, so that's that was Creatures of Whitechapel, a little taste of it, right? And so Creatures, now we couldn't really use that trailer too much. That was more of a private trailer because of obviously the Rolling Stones music as far as it goes. And so, but that being said,
I'm sure they would support, you know, because this is like film festivals and all that. We are allowed to be, you know, a little bit more
loose.
We have like a little latitude, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you this. I love this phrase in the movie. There are no gods here, only monsters. You know, this is like a great phrase in the film.
Thank you. And that was a little bit of a play on, there's the famous line, gods and monsters, right? We are gods and monsters. And so that we kind of twisted that line and made it kind of more relevant to how it was. And, you know, and even when we made that trailer, you kind of get some things, but nothing spoils the film. You don't understand like exactly everything that's going on. So we had some fun, and we made that before we played our first festivals, obviously, as far as it goes. So that wasn't even color graded or anything like that. That was the raw footage before we color.
Wow, it looks awesome already. I mean, why do you think that you are so inclined to do this type of movies?
They're just more fun. They're just more fun. I just think they're, you know, it's better than just doing kind of a drama with people in a bedroom arguing about their love life. I don't really, you know, I think maybe that's more fun if there's a monster outside the door, right? So I just think there's something a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more colorful as far as that goes. And I think genre cinema, it really affords that opportunity to be able to really be able to be colorful and bold and to subvert expectations and to kind of have it, and you could get away with a lot more. People will be, you could do things with your story that maybe in a real world setting you can't do. Yeah. But in this, it's like people will buy like, yeah, there's magic coming out of people's hands. Yeah, there's demons. Yeah, there's, you know, all that sort of thing. People like that. You know, it's the escape from our reality and the drudgery of the reality. And so I think for me, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and also, but it's funny because sometimes they're scary, but they're colorful too, and they're extremely sexy. All your characters are sexy.
You gotta make them sexy. You know, if they're not sexy, then why am I going to watch you? You know, there it is.
Like
so
the Jack the Ripper, it's like a female Jack the Ripper, and I like the way you twist. You know, you play with this. It's like you're rereading, you're redoing things your own way. It's like you're getting this character, say, okay, no, I don't see them like that. Let's do something else with them. And
yeah, I think, I mean, when we first came up, my sister and I, with the idea, I remember my sister has always loved the story of Jack the Ripper and just the history behind it. And I remember when we were thinking of like what to make, I think I was the one, yeah, that's what it was. I was the one that was like, hey, let's do like a Jack the Ripper movie. And at first we talked about doing it in a modern setting because we weren't sure here in Utah if we could actually do a period piece. So we thought about doing a modern version of it. And then we came up with the idea of like, well, what if we combine Jack the Ripper with Frankenstein, like the Bride of Frankenstein? And they were like, that's really cool too. And then we came up with, after that, you know, this is all over like 2 or 3 days tops. And then we just were like, and they were like, well, what if we make Jack the Ripper a woman? We're like, that's cool too. And so I had an actress friend, Carly, who plays Jack the Ripper, and we had talked about wanting to do something together. And I was like, well, let's try to do this, right?
It was awesome. I mean, that voice also that she brings, was it her idea to bring that voice to the character? Or are you guys kind of sort of decided doing like this? How was it?
We knew that we wanted her voice to not be just like a regular voice. I let her have some freedom. I mean, there was we had to make sure that she could do the voice, and she was really scared about doing it. And I remember, I think on Facebook, she sent me like a message and she's like, here's the voice as far as it goes. And then she did it. I was like, there it is. You got it. It's done. We're good. That's going to be great. The only thing I regret that we did, because I think it would have fit really nicely, was I wish we would have put a scar across her neck so you could see that she had like some sort of scar, because it would have built the story a little bit more. But it was something that you come up the idea with after you make it, right? And you're like, oh, well, if we ever make a feature film version of it, then, we can do that then. And I think part of the idea, we kind of created some backstory where, she was with the name Igor, right? So the idea was she was like some Eastern European poor immigrant that was abused and, abused greatly as a child, and, was like an urchin of the streets. So she's educated, but she's also still very... she has a lot of issues, so to speak. Like she's never felt love before. She's never, all she knows is violence. And
yeah, but you see that a little bit also in the film, her relationship with I don't want to give away much, but it's already out. But I mean, people should watch it because it's amazing. But but you can see this, I don't want to say human side of her, because I think she's also one of your monsters, right? So, but it's like, it's the side of her that you see that when she's relating to the people that she relates to. Let's put it this way. So I don't give away much.
Yeah, you don't want to give away too much, some of the twists and stuff like that. That's part of the fun of the story, is seeing the stories that subverted and combined and inverted, and how that all works. And so I think that's a lot of fun. What I would say is that, just kind of thinking aloud, is I think you're right that those relationships come through. There's enough information there that people follow through, and without giving too much away, we weren't 100% sure that the final scene made 100% sense. We knew it kind of made sense, but we weren't sure that it was there. So when we were showing people, we never told anybody what was coming. And so when we asked them, we would say, like, did this make sense? Did this actually come across? And people would say, like, yes, it did make sense, and that people could see it, and that it was, that it could come there. And so that was good. So that worked.
So how long is the film? I can't remember. It was almost like it would be in the medium, huh?
Yeah, it was 25
minutes.
So
it would be a featurette in this festival. If you were in this festival, if you were in the first one, we did not have this category, but you would be in the bizarre featurette. Yeah.
So all my stuff is longer. I like a longer story. So
what about Kiss the Devil in the Dark?
So we can bring up something here from Kiss the Devil in the Dark. And so now Kiss the Devil in the Dark, so that we'll wrap up a little bit just with Creatures. So Creatures ended up actually doing better than Comatose Mother in the end. It didn't play quite as many festivals, but it played better festivals on the whole. Hold on one second. Let's just do its thing. It played better festivals on the whole. And it premiered at Sitges, which is the #1 genre festival in the world, and the Oscar qualifying competition, which only like 25 films from around the world.
Wow, that's amazing!
Right, so that was really great. We were actually the first short. We were the opening night short with the feature films as well. So that was really cool, and they really liked it a lot. And then so that ended up playing, I think, 80 or 85 film festivals, but it won 87 awards, I think. So it did better than Comatose Mother did. But that was actually the last, that's like the third of the short films. And then there was the one in the middle that actually got done last because there were so many visual effects in it, was Kiss the Devil in the Dark. And this one's more fantasy. So while Creatures is more of a gothic horror romance, and it's more of like a dark gothic romance with that horror element, and Comatose Mother is your tongue-in-cheek, almost comedy horror, but more horror than comedy, but still there. Kiss the Devil was, even though there's a few moments of macabre humor, Kiss the Devil was more your period supernatural fantasy horror as far as that goes. So it kind of had a little bit different. So we would play with different parts of the genre, of course. And so we don't have a trailer for Kiss the Devil, but we have the visual effects, you know, making of the visual effects. So that's what we have to show, which we showed in the visual effects class, but this is the best that we have to show of this right now. So we could show this for Kiss the Devil.
Okay, sure. Let's
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, let's see if we can do it.
You can comment if you want, because this is interesting. You're showing the effects, how they're done.
Yeah, all the layers, step by step.
Awesome.
So that's Kiss the Devil in the Dark. And, you know, Kiss the Devil, like I said, I made that with my sister, Rebecca, and we co-directed that one together when she was younger. So that's the cream of the Oreo, right? So you have Comatose Mother and Creatures, that's the cookie, and then Kiss the Devil's the cream as the middle piece, right? So that was that one. And that one had actually some kind of recognizable names and faces in it.
Which are? Do you want to?
Yeah. So Doug Jones plays Dagon and the butler Terrence, and Doug Jones is famous for playing Abe Sapien in Hellboy. He's Pan in The Pale Man and Pan's Labyrinth. He was he's on Star Trek Discovery, a star of Star Trek Discovery right now. He was in The Shape of Water. He was the creature in The Shape of Water. He was in Hocus Pocus. He was Billy Butcherson in Hocus Pocus. So he's had a very long and popular career, and he has a pretty big fan base. And then we also had Amrita Acharya in the film. And Amrita, she was in the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. So she was the Khaleesi's handmaiden in that. And that character that she played is still alive in the books, but in the show, they killed her off as like, hey, surprise. And she's actually the star of a series in the UK, I think for ITV, called Good Karma Hospital, which you can see on Amazon and all that as well. And then we also had in one of his first roles, Jake Stormone, who's now the star, one of the 2 stars of a series called The Outpost on Sci-Fi or the CW in America. And then we also had the lead is a friend of mine, Damian Clark,
He's great.
Yeah, he's more famous for his voiceover acting. He did Dragon Ball Z. He was Cell in Dragon Ball Z. He did Full Metal Alchemist. He was in. He also in the video game Borderlands. He was Handsome Jack, which he won like the Best Actor award for video games in the industry and stuff. So he's really well known for his voice acting as well and popular. So he does a lot of conventions and stuff like that. So we actually had a pretty good cast. Another friend of mine, Gary, while he's not as big as those names, he He was in the latest Justice League movie, and he's in the Alfred. He's going to be in Alfred or Pennyworth. Pennyworth. It's about Batman's butler, and he's playing the king in the series and stuff like that. So you know, it ended up having quite a pretty good cast.
Yeah. What about the Creatures? Creatures, you had. I mean, this actor in Creatures, you know, they are amazing too. Like
So
the male character, the one that's the kind of
the Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, Dr. Frankenstein. He's awesome. He's the lead, right? But there is this guy that is the bad guy
with the bald hair ahead.
Yeah, like
that's Rick Macy. So Rick Macy is in all my movies, and Rick is great. He's actually pretty popular.
He's such a character actor.
Oh, he's great. He's great. Like, his story is interesting because when he was at college in the late 70s, he because he's in his 60s now. When he was at college in the late 70s, he won the Best Actor in America award for college. So he won that, and I asked him, I was like, Rick, why did you go to Hollywood? And he wanted to start a family. So he started a family, and he didn't act for about 25 years. And then he started doing some local films, and he got real popular, and he came back into it, and he started teaching acting again. And then he was in my movies, and so he's just a great actor. So he plays the husband in Comatose Mother. He's in Kiss the Devil. He's got.
He plays the husband of the mother.
The wife, because there's the Comatose Mother. Yeah, but he plays that. Yeah, he plays the husband, the rich husband of the rich wife, in that. And then in Kiss the Devil, he's got, he's like the Southern dude with a sword, and he's got the goatee and longer hair. And then in Creatures, he's got the shaved head and the goatee, and now he's shaving his head more, and he looks so cool. He looks great with it. So, yeah.
And who plays the monster on Kiss the Devil?
So the actors who are playing the humans are playing the monsters as well.
No, but the big monster.
Yeah, that was Doug Jones. So he plays the butler and the monster.
Oh, he plays the monster. Oh, okay. So he is the same. You didn't have like another actor playing the monster with all the stuff.
Yeah, so he
seems pretty tall, the monster.
Well,
right?
He is tall. He's like 6'4", but we also had him on. We had him taller as well to make him taller. But also the girls who also played the demons, the actresses did it both. So Amrita was the maid, but also the demon. She, they were like 5'2", so he's like 6'4".
Right.
So that already gives like a big impression as far as that goes.
One actress that I really like in your film, Creatures, is the one that plays the prostitute in the beginning, like with the black hair.
Her name is Crystal Harris, and she did a good job. We actually had casted someone else in the role, and who is actually kind of well known around here locally. She's done a lot of independent films. And then for whatever reason, she pulled out. She pulled out of the film. So I think I had like a week to get a new person. And so I reached out to Crystal. I can't remember if I reached out to her, if I put out a new call that we needed somebody, and she reached out to me. I can't remember exactly. And so I just made her say, like, you got to send me a tape because I got to know if you could do the accent and if you could do that, have the look. And she did it real fast, and it worked really well. And because initially the real character that she plays is Catherine Eddowes, who is a real victim of Jack the Ripper, was a blonde. She was a real blonde because we have a photo of her and stuff. And and Crystal normally was blonde, but her hair was dark. And I was like, you know what? That'll be fine. It's gonna work.
But it works fine. It works fine because then you have the bride that's blonde, and then the other one that has kind of reddish hair, and then she has like the black hair, and I think she has a lot of character in her eyes. She speaks through her eyes. I think this is a wonderful thing for an actor. And I think she was very compelling too. So I think it was a very good choice in the end. These things that happen in films that you're not supposed to happen, but then they work for the plot in the end.
It works out. I personally don't think I've worked with a bad actor yet. Well, I have music videos and stuff I've done too. So I mean, I've worked with some that aren't as good, but when it comes to the serious roles and all that, I've been very fortunate with the actors that I've been able to work with and who have wanted to work with me. So I've been very fortunate as well.
Well, that's not a hard thing, right?
Oh,
Because you're such a lovely person and such a talented director.
thank
So,
you.
I mean, who doesn't want to work with you?
I don't know. I mean, probably lots of people, but we'll find out who they are. So,
But
yeah.
tell me, what are you working on now?
So right now we're working on a few things. So
that you can reveal.
Yeah, that I can. So I can't tell the details of it. I have a film that I'm going to be producing with an Oscar winner, Joel Harlow. We're getting really close. We just got to get the cast on board, and then we're ready to go. We're in the driver's seat.
It's a feature, right?
That's
it's a feature.
We're in the driver's seat. I can only tell you the title. It's called Ice House. And we have to film it in the dead of winter. We have to film it out in the wilderness in the dead of winter. So we're rushing to get it ready because we want to film February 1st is when we want to start doing that. And so it's a horror film, and so I could say that.
Cool.
So there's that.
And are you guys going to shoot it in Utah?
Probably not because of the incentive program. There's no incentive available. So we're looking at Montana for that one.
Montana?
So, yeah, Montana, which is still close, but that looks in our favor. But there still could be Utah involved. We'll see. Because of the nature of it, it's not a film we can film. Really, we can't film it in Georgia. We can't film it in Louisiana.
Right.
We have to film it. There's only so many locations we can actually film in. Another state that maybe we could film is like Michigan or Minnesota. And fortunately, the film is actually a pretty small film, so we could do that. So I'm producing that. I'm executive producing another film that is currently titled Reciprocal Beat, and that one should start filming at the end of October. We're still negotiating some things there, so I can't say much more. I might do the second unit directing on that, maybe.
That would be cool.
And all I can say outside of that is there is a name attached, but there's a really big name, really famous big name that they are negotiating with, but I can't say anything more than that.
Yeah, so we have to wait for the next interview to know.
Yeah, but I honestly, I'm not that involved with that one unless I become a second unit director. I'm really not creatively involved on that. I'm not making those decisions. And then there's another film. So I'm trying to do a feature film called There's a Monster in Grandma's Basement. And so we have Joel, the Oscar-winning makeup artist who did Star Trek, Hellboy, Black Panther, Pirates of the Caribbean. He's going to be doing that with us on there, and we have a kind of a popular name that has the script right now, so we're waiting to hear. And I'm hoping that once we get done with Ice House, we'll go and make that one, and maybe we'll do that in New Zealand.
Oh, that's cool, because they have different landscapes there.
So, yeah, no, you're right, though. You're right. No, it's the landscape, and we really just need a forest for it, and it needs to look like fall. And so if we shoot it in the spring, it's fall, right, where you are in the Southern Hemisphere. So that's the biggest reason.
So come shoot here. Why are you going to New Zealand? I mean, come on.
I know. We gotta make it. It's gotta look a certain way, right? So it's got that.
I know, just kidding. Well, you would be surprised. I mean, we were having this talk. I mean, we have very different forests here. Not only the jungle, the Amazon. We have many different forests. Let's do some location scouting here before you go to New Zealand.
So we'll see what we can do, but we get the incentive of New Zealand, right? So
we do a co-production. See, we are already setting up a movie deal.
Yeah, there we go. That was going on.
We can stop ourselves. It's ridiculous.
Maybe there's this other film. There's a film I've got called that I am attached right now to direct called The Salesman, and it's based on a book series. And so we'll see where that one goes, but that one's kind of like a noir, supernatural deal with the devil type of a thing. And so, no, I didn't write that one. That one I didn't write. This one I've been approached, to direct and stuff like that.
What about this one from New Zealand you wrote and you're going to direct?
Yes.
And the one in Montana too?
The one in Montana, I'd be producing.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
There are so many films that I get confused. Sorry.
I know. So we got that. Writing a few other cool projects. I also have a feature adaptation of Comatose Mother that I
Oh, you
want.
do?
I do.
think that would do really well.
I think
You
so
should.
too. I think so too. But that one's a little more expensive. That one needs at least $5 million. It really does.
Yeah.
So in fact, it probably needs 10, if I'm being very honest. Right?
Don't get too carried away. Okay, wait. Let's think 5 million first.
We could do it for 5, but
Okay.
if we got really creative, we could do it for less. If we got
Don't get too creative. You're already creative enough.
Thank you. So we're doing that, and then so there's that. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, I can see, a very bright future for you.
Oh, thank you.
And so happy to have you in this festival.
Thank you.
You're such a generous person, artist, and it's been amazing. I mean, you've been since the beginning with us, and 2018, 2019, 2020, and forever now. So
yeah. Now I'm part of the family, right? I'm in. I've been a doctor.
You're in.
Yeah. So now I wish I could just speak Portuguese.
Well,
so
it will come. It will come. Don't worry. Sorry. We work that in your brain.
Well, thank you. Well, if anybody's watching this that wants to look, I would love to come to Brazil. I would love to get down, and I would love to make something there. Look, we could do Kiss the Devil as a series in Brazil, and then we could do an American version. So if anybody's out there to do something cool, we could do it in Portuguese. We could do it there. I'm serious. We'll come on down and we'll do like a So
let's plan. Let's plan on this
series, right? So let's do it.
Yeah. Well, we have many projects now. We have to think about all that and put it together and do some co-productions and then make it happen. Mm-hmm. We know how to do it. We just need to make it happen.
We know how to make a movie. We know how it's done. So we got it. Great. So
Jonathan, so nice to have you here. I'm sure it was very entertaining for our audience, and everybody's going to watch it. It's going to be online. People can watch it again and after, and then you can watch it too. And so you're ready. Next one, you come back already. You know now. You know how it is.
Yeah, I do.
Because we've been trying to get you here since the first one.
Yes, I know. We'll get me there. So we'll bring my entourage. So we'll make it happen.
Exactly. Bring everybody, and then we make a movie when you get here.
Yes, we'll make a movie or TV series. We'll make it happen. So thank you.
Okay.
Bye.